Microphone. Oh, there you are. Okay. Good morning, everybody. All right. I would love it if you guys could stand up and sing along to this one. Let's get ourselves woken up and ready to celebrate. Yeah. Holiday juices, I don't know. Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe hung where you can see. Every couple tries to stop. Rocking around the Christmas tree, let the Christmas spirit sing. Later we'll have some pumpkin pie and we'll do some caroling. You will get a sentimental feeling when you hear voices singing, let's be jolly, deck the halls with boughs of holly. Rocking around the Christmas tree, have a happy holiday. Everyone dancing merrily in the new old-fashioned way. Rocking around the Christmas tree, let happy holiday. Everyone dancing merrily in the new old-fashioned way. Merry Christmas. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity this morning. Welcome everyone on live stream. We're just going to start and sing this little Christmas chant, I guess a call to the universe and recognizing the beauty of the birth of Christ within. This is our last Sunday before Christmas, and so let's just get in the presence of the magic that happens when we connect with this greater power, this greater love we call God, Spirit, Source, whatever word makes you feel connected and loved. The piano's not on. The birth of Christ within brings peace to all, and love and light to all the earth. The birth of Christ within brings peace to all, and love and light to all the earth. The birth of Christ within, the birth of Christ within brings peace to all, brings peace to all, and love and light to all the earth, to all the earth, to all the earth. So it is.
Morning, everyone, and Merry Christmas. We're in Christmas week here, and actually, the essence of Christmas has been demonstrated already here at Unity of Boulder. We annually at Christmas, we do a drive for the Native American people up on the Wounded Knee Reservation, and they are among the most impoverished people in the country. And they have been hit very hard by the COVID-19 pandemic. And this year we thought, because we don't have the crowds coming into the physical building, we're probably not going to do as well with our donations this year for that drive. But we have done exceedingly well. You guys have been great. We have more gifts. We have more food supplies. We have actually going to make our quota of about 20 turkeys, 28-pound turkeys. If you go out and buy a 28-pound turkey, it costs you $30, $35. They don't do that up there. Nobody up there can do that. So we're going to set up these turkeys. They're going to have a great Christmas meal. We have all the food supplies that came with that, the yams, the cans, everything, plus the Christmas gifts for the children and all of the clothing that they need for the people up there. I don't even know if we're going to get it in the truck, but we're going to be loading the truck right after the service today. We're going to be loading the truck and sending it up to Wounded Knee. So to all of you that have donated to this incredible Christmas drive, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity Boulder, live and in person and online. As Jack said, our community here did a tremendous job collecting for Wounded Knee. We are going to be loading the truck immediately following this service, so if anyone here who's live and in person would like to stick around for a few minutes and help us load everything into the truck, that would be fantastic. This week, Friday or Thursday night, Christmas Eve, we're going to be having our Christmas show. It will not be live in this room. We tried as hard as we could to make a live show, but it just didn't work with restrictions and getting people in the band and the choir and everyone to come together. There was no safe way to do it. It just didn't work. So what we did was we put together a beautiful anthology from the last 6 years of our services of all our best, most beautiful music. There will be some live stuff in between of Jack and Santisha talking, between a few songs here and there and a few other little small video bits that we threw in there. So it's really a beautiful video. So that we're going to be airing that 6 p.m. this Thursday on Christmas Eve. So tune into that, the same place you would normally watch us live online. It's going to be great, so check that out. And next Sunday is our annual end-of-the-year Burning Bowl service. We're doing that at the end of our second service, our 11 a.m. service next week. And this is the ceremony, for those of you who don't know, this is the ceremony where if you have anything that's not serving you, not helping you, or not needed in your life, you write it down on a sheet of paper and bring it up here, and we burn it right here in front of the stage to let go of it and get it out of your life. So come check that out next week at the end of our second service. All right, thank you.
Hello again. I know you know this one, so please do sing along. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Everywhere you go, take a look at the 5 and 10, glistening once again, with candy canes and silver lanes aglow. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Toys in every store, but the prettiest sight you'll see is the holly that will be on your own front door. A pair of hop-along boots and a pistol that shoots is the wish of Barney and Ben. Dolls that'll talk and will go for a walk is the hope of Janice and Jen. And Mom and Dad can hardly wait for school to start again. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Everywhere you go, there's a tree in the Grand Hotel, one in the park as well, the sturdy kind that doesn't mind the snow. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Soon the bells will start, and the thing that'll make them ring is the carol that you sing right within your heart. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Soon the bells will start, and the thing that'll make them ring is the carol that you sing right within your heart. And the thing that'll make them ring is the carol that you sing right within your heart. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Nicole and Norma and band, and everybody just pulled together this morning. I can tell you we had a last-minute cancellation. Man, what a team we have up here just to figure out something else. So get the heart pumping. I feel like I've already been to the gym today, and I don't even know, you know. All right, so today's talk title is Angels We Have Heard on High. And I came up with this sermon because I didn't have a sermon and I could not find what I was going to talk about this week. We've been so busy in a wonderful way with the Wounded Knee collection, and all week we've had so many volunteers wrapping all the gifts, and the amount of gifts we've gotten this year is just, it's so heartwarming and wonderful. And the place is bustling, and it felt like the old times, you know, before COVID, when this church is so empty ever since COVID happened. I mean, we have you guys here, and I'm grateful that I have you here, but I know you're all on live stream, and we miss you, and we want to see you back here, but we understand that we're all trying to stay safe. But it was just nice to have noise everywhere, and there was dance classes happening in the fellowship hall, and we had somebody cooking in the kitchen, and it was just like, I forgot what it was like to have all these distractions. And now what am I going to write about? Because everybody has something they want to share with me, and it was like, there's so much to do. But one of the conversations that I had that kept being repeated by people, and I always tend to talk about things that people share with me, is their feeling of going into another holiday where they can't see all of their family, just like we already did with Thanksgiving. And if you already have family here, you're very blessed, but you may not even live in the same house, and you may decide to stay safe and not collect this time. And that feeling that we've just been told you can't do so many things, you know, to feel in this disdain that we do not have free will during this time, and we understand that we have to keep everybody safe, but there's that inner child that just wants to go crazy and just start leaping around and going, I'm over it, and yet we're still persevering in this time of complete and utter change. And we have to keep steady in our peace and in our light, in our growing consciousness, and understand that something wonderful is still being birthed, and the Christ is being birthed in us. And never have we ever had a year that has pushed us to have to be with self so much, to heal in self so much, and to collectively handle our children and our spouses and keep peace in the midst of everybody kind of becoming at that boiling point where the water's starting to go over the side of the pan. And how do we keep collected and happy even and peaceful? The law of divine oneness is the first of the 12 universal laws, and it helps us to understand that in this world we live, everything is connected to everything else. Every thought, words, actions, and beliefs of our affect others and the universe around us, irrespective of whether the people are near or far away, in other words, beyond time and space. So in this holiday season, I know many of us have felt the drain and strain of not being able to do what we used to do and what we want to do, like plan trips to see family and friends, shop at stores and listen to the wonderful music, talk with strangers in our neighborhood, leave and get things done in the world and do our jobs in the world and interact with our employees and our employers and send our children off to school. Wouldn't that be nice? Go to Christmas parties. God, wouldn't you like to go to a Christmas party? I so do. Or listen to a live band and dance all night long. Yeah, that's a big one. Dream of getting to a beach somewhere and just basking in the sun and not being worried about getting in an airplane right now. All these things, I know you can identify with one or two or all of it. So this pull to have our freedom back is at the forefront as we zero in on the new year of 2021. We want to know what is coming. Will it be different? Will we get our lives back even like 50%? Will we get to see our families? Will we finally be able to get to see our nieces and nephews and see how much they've grown in this whole year that we haven't seen them? You know, will we be able to spontaneously go skiing without having to reserve our parking spot for 2 weeks ahead of time for more than a 2-hour slot on the slopes? Everything's a pain, man. It is. It just is. And it's just like, ooh, another thing. Ooh. Oh, I have to fill out this entire thing to make one of the things that used to just be like jump in the car and go do it. Everything is a maneuver it's all through the internet, it's all through that. And then we have mothers and staff that are in the realm that don't know any computers, so we're fixing their lives constantly to keep them tuned into being able to do what we would normally all be able to do. So we stare at the computer a lot going, ooh. In Neville's brief book, Thoughts Change Your Life, Living the Wisdom of the Tao, he writes, in all creation, in all eternity, in all realms of your infinite being, the most wonderful fact is, you are God. You are the I am that I am. You are consciousness. You are the creator. This is the mystery. This is the great secret known by the seers and prophets and mystics throughout the ages. This is the truth that you can never know intellectually. The important thing is that it is within you. It is you. It is your world. And that's what we mean when we talk about the birth of Christ within us. Yeah, it's wonderful to look at the historical story, Mary having this immaculate birth, and this dreamy presence of a perfect child of God, working all these wonderful, wonderful miracles for those to be observed in those times. And then we just read upon them and witness what he was capable of doing. But in unity, we are studying the fact that we are those perfect children of God. And Jesus is the way shower of what we all are. He's not the only child of God. This birth of Christ within us is a beautiful mystical story, historical or not. How do we bring it within our own being and in our soul to recognize that we still experience and still live in a state of free will? We can bring about these miracles even in the stifleness of this year of 2020. And so with all this wanting and wondering and whispering prayers into the winds for the chapter to start completing itself, please complete itself. How do we hold our joy and our peace and creating laughter and finding humor and doing the things that replenishes the spirit and the soul? This is saying that we are still co-creators. We are the I am, meaning we still have that free will. What can we shift to flow more openly for this experience to feel less stifling? How can we flow into more freedom within our being? Michael Beckwith writes, the mature level of wanting says, I want to know more of who and what I really am. I want to express my true nature of love, joy, creativity, abundance, compassion, self-givingness, generosity. And the same good desire for myself I desire for all beings. As you embrace this personal law of life, you align with the true nature of the universe. You tap into the rich reservoir of your innate wisdom. From this generative consciousness, your needs are met. You might say, but what about the year 2020? How can we take any more? How can we seek more peace within our heart? It would be nice to see a shift in the outer life as well. And I'm going to get to that in a little bit because there's a really, really powerful shift that's about to happen. So hold on to your seat, folks. It's about to shift. Okay, in the vortex, Esther Hicks says, if you will make a determination that from wherever you stand and no matter what you are focusing upon, you will reach for the best feeling thought you can find from where you are. So let's do that right now. Think of the thing that's making you feel most stifled in your life and see if you could reach for a better thought about it. What's a better thought? What's a more abundant thought? What's a kinder thought? What's a more healing thought? What's a freer thought? Then you will develop an ongoing relationship with your inner being, with Source, and with all that you desire. And your life will become consistently joyous. Aren't you so in the mood to be consistently joyous? I heard so much laughter this week with people just so happy to be in community as they wrapped those presents. The talking. It was just like everybody missed each other so much. Because we are community beings. We need each other. And we keep being pushed into isolation. And we need that warm embrace, at least of words and sharing and love. So that was your plan, to sift through variety, come to personal clarity about what you prefer on topic after topic, and then to come into alignment with your eternally evolving self. And we are eternally evolving. This 2020 didn't happen for absolutely no reason. This is the dawning of the new age. We are leaving the dark ages. Consciousness where we believe things outside of ourselves will make us happy. That constantly trying to attain something, because we've had to find the self-sufficiency within ourselves to find inner peace, to discover our inner heart, our inner voice. I think many of us have discovered what we no longer need, what is actually important, what is actually a priority. We've found old pieces of ourselves that we forgot, things that we loved to do, and we stopped doing it because we got too busy, too caught up in the world. And time stopped. And we had to find a way to fill the time. And so many people have told me they've picked up their old instruments again. They've watched old movies from the past that inspired them then, and now they have a whole new meaning and are inspiring them now. They've had conversations with family members on the phone instead of texting. That's a miracle. But the slowing down and being with self has also birthed what we truly need and what we truly don't need. I think we're all looking for a collective oneness, a healing with this vibration in consciousness, that this division ends, and that all equality comes to the forefront, and unity happens, and peace and love for this planet and for this earth. Co-creative consciousness to better this world for our children and our grandchildren. To make this year worth it. So, I was trying to get my sermon done. I usually try to get done by like Wednesday or Thursday. And if I don't, then I start to feel panicked because I like to tweak it till I get to Sunday. But because there was all this distraction and all this stuff going on, I kept going to my office trying to write, and I just was like total writer's block, trying to answer questions to all the people. I knew the next day I was home with my children doing homeschooling who were in finals, and I knew there was no way I'd get a sermon done there. But then I attempted to do it there, and they were all up in my grill and all up in my space, and it was like, I got to get dressed, and I came back to the church, and all the people were here, and I was like, there's nowhere to hide. I have to get something done. So I'm observing all this beauty in the church. I'm trying to calm down. All I want to do is just start rapping with everybody and have fun. I want to be part of the community. But I have this part that I have to provide for this community. So I was feeling this push and pull, this push and pull. And at one point, it just felt like I was like saying, I can't do all of this. You know, the kids homeschooling and carrying this church and the live streaming and everything is so technical to have all this wonderful stuff and the PowerPoints and all this technical stuff has just changed everything. Like the writing of the sermon is like this big, but the technology to make this all work now with COVID is just beyond belief. And I wasn't put here to be a tech person, let me tell you. I've learned a lot, let me tell you that. But I was saying to myself, I can't do all of this. And this Bible quote came to me. Jesus said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Jesus said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." I sat down at my desk and decided to sit with my crystal. This is my crystal I've had for years that I always speak with. It's almost like a family member at this point. And I just sat, my dog was in the office, and I closed my eyes, and I just listened for a message, and I kind of was like scrolling around my desk, and the sheet music was sitting there of Angels We Have Heard on High. And so I typed those words in my computer, Angels We Have Heard on High. What does that mean to me? And then I'm like singing, sweetly singing o'er the plains and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. And then I started writing. Let the words of this song lift your heart and invoke memories of music, harmonies, and peace from the start. Take the time for heightening consciousness and more, for the potential of Christ's love is being birthed to adore. It's time to rest this Christmas week. Let the busyness of the season go to sleep. Have a seat in your favorite chair with tea, hot cocoa, and yummy smells in the air. Bask in the magic of what the season can bring. Align with the heart. Reminisce, find what you need. Make a list, check it twice, open your mind, and manifest. This Sunday, join Unity, your community, plant a seed and watch it grow. You know your potential, claim it and let it snow. Come for a Christmas experience this Sunday with soloists, sermons, and symbols galore. And remember how much you are loved from the divine and feel it from your core. And then I wrote, this little ditty was written by Santisha on a day where she had writer's block. She was lost and not sure what to write for her weekly Sunday talk. So she gave up and let go and let Spirit do the walk. And she will see you on Sunday in a shiny Christmas frock. Obviously, I couldn't find anything shiny, so I had to go in my mom's office and find, she always has shiny stuff. It's like, I gotta do something, I gotta be like good on my word here. So, that's what I wanted to do in my life, was to be a writer. It really wasn't to be a public speaker. I want to be a singer, I want to be a dancer. I wanted to be an actress. I wanted to be all sorts of things, but minister was not on that list. But just to sit and write and be playful with this Christmas energy, that's what I wanted to do, was play. And not feel forced to have to bring something into manifestation when it wasn't ready to be manifested. We know that moment when we're pushing to make something happen, and you just know it's not going to. So we let go, and we touch in with that creative, which is the Creator. And then everything started to flow. Wayne Dyer speaks to this in his book, Wishes Fulfilled. I share this for all of us writers or anyone who has to put pen to paper more than humanly possible, and that is the whole point of what I'm going to read here. We have to go beyond what is humanly possible and open up to what is spiritually possible. Wayne writes about when he's getting ready to write a book, I feel guidance, as if angels send me information related to what I will be writing and experiencing long before the actual writing/speaking. Strangers send me a variety of media to listen to or to read that awakens something within me. Repeated references in conversation or reviews about movies will ignite an inner spark of inquisitiveness, which leads to what I didn't know I needed for my next step up on the ladder to enlightened living. I feel that I was being made ready, and the teachers and teachings were showing up in just the right way to prod me toward the fulfillment of my own dharma and perhaps yours. 2, since you are now reading, which I'm reading it to you, reading these words and are therefore connected to all that I am being taught as well, obviously, we are all in this thing together. Your being in possession of this book, or Santisha sharing this book with you, and studying the messages herein may be just as mysterious to you as how the teachings came to me. And I share this because this is for anything in life. When we get out of our own way and start to observe the culmination of conversations that we've had, we see this super something that connects all the conversations. We understand that this is something we're supposed to be listening to. Or you open up a book and it's a passage that's exactly what you want. Like I had just opened to this in that book and I was like, God, that is exactly what I needed to move me forward in writing this sermon. To live as if the divine is guiding and directing everything. And knowing that that is the case. That we don't have to lean on our human nature, but we can actually lap into our spiritual nature. And if it's not coming, then to rest into that until it does. The universe will never let you down. It might not come in your perfect intellectual timing, but it will come in and give you messages for what you need to do next. What you need to accomplish, what you need to unfold in your life. This last week, I have 2 daughters. One turned 24 on the 10th, and one turned 13 on the 11th. Super different parenting right there. And Katya, my youngest, she was sent a lot of money by people. I think 13 must be a hard age, so they didn't send her gifts or clothes and things like that. It was just money. So she ended up with like $300 for her birthday. And I told her, now that you have all this money, this is a good time for you to try buying presents for other people for Christmas. It's time for you to feel that giving nature. You've been receiving all these years, all these wonderful gifts that you get from church parishioners, from your mom and dad, from your grandparents, from everyone. They get an amazing Christmas every year, birthdays, all of it. I want you to feel what it feels like to go and purchase things for your family and friends. So Friday, she and I left early, and we got all dressed up to go to just a big, store with our masks on. And I told her, you should probably figure out what your budget is, and she decided about $5, $10 a person. And she had her little list, and she'd worked on it all night. And she said, I want to go on my own. I want to do it by myself because I want to figure out, I don't want you to know what I'm getting her. But I'm like, okay. But then I see her like stopped up at one point, and I go over to her, and she goes, well, this is $25, and it's for so-and-so. But I think that this person deserves it. And I was like, I think they deserve it too. And so her budget changed. The giving nature started to take over, and she felt that joy of thinking of the people that she loves and buying them something. And I saw something shift in her, which you all know I've been talking about her lately. We needed to see a shift in her. She went into her teenage years a little too early, so this is a good lesson here. But she became dreamy, and she became a little girl again. The teenage years left, and the magic of Christmas entered my daughter. And when we got in the car and she had all of her stuff, I said, we're going to go to the church now, and you're going to help Heather and all the people. We're going to wrap for the Native Americans, and we're going to get this thing done so Heather doesn't have such a burden on her. I mean, our admin assistant, Heather, is the most unbelievable, hardworking, organizing. If you had any idea the details of trying to make this happen, and then today, after the service, we're loading the truck, and it's going to go up there, and what a gift she is to us. Katia came here, and she did the wrapping. She spent a few hours. And when we left, she was in the car, and she turned and she looked at me, and she said, this is my favorite memory of shopping with you, Mom. And I needed to hear that too. We've been having a push me, pull me these days. It's just been. And what she got is that we make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. We make a life by what we give. So this week, as many as you know, is the winter solstice, and we know that this is the honoring of the darkness. We know that this is the last darkest days that after the winter solstice, the light starts to come back into the earth. And it's a time to look at where we're bringing the light into the darkness, to recognize that we are the conduits for Spirit's love, to move in and through the people that we connect with, the people that we talk to, the animals we connect with, just all of our life is where are we bringing the lightness into our own hearts so that it may ablaze and touch others. And that can be through giving things, it can be saying things, it can be complimenting somebody. The winter solstice celebrates the longest hours of darkness, or the rebirth of the sun, and is believed to hold a powerful energy for regeneration, renewal, and self-reflection. The spiritual and energetic significance of the winter solstice is multi-layered, but the most direct relevance is that it symbolizes the birth of the sun, right? We've got the birth of the sun with an O on Friday, and we have the birth of the sun on Tuesday. The birth of the sun is representative of the birth of Jesus. The birth of these higher beings at this time of the solstice was symbolic of the birth of the spiritual sun within us, that we are not separate from the Creator, as we have been conditioned to believe, to feel that we are less than divine beings. But this winter solstice for 2020, we have a very special gift from the celestial beings. I met with my astrologer friend to get this very clear about what's about to happen. She says that we need to have conscious strategy to really make this work. That on the day after the winter solstice on December 21st, to hold a clear vision of the golden age. We are moving into the age of Aquarius. Super cool. All right, we're moving out of the ruler and we're moving into joy, community, love, happiness at all costs. What that means for you, that it won't all change that day, but this is one of the most potent energies that we have ever faced in our lifetime. The current is set that day and is so strong into a positive direction from the dark age to the golden age. However, March, April, and May will be finally the landing on the shore of all our transitioning over the last few years. Think about that. So we have something to look forward to, guys. Finally. And the 21st, we're supposed to look to the southwest at sunset. And we're supposed to be able to see this conjunction that's going to happen. It's going to be the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. And it's the first Christmas star that we've had in 800 years. Do you think that's a coincidence with all we've gone through? Or is something divine, magical, reverent being born? So I wanted to share a short video just from an astrologer to give you a rough idea of what this all means.
The Christmas star will light up December 21st, 2020 for the first time in 800 years. We have an incredible gift from the celestial world being given to us on the winter solstice, December 21st, 2020. Jupiter and Saturn will line up to create what is known as the Christmas star, or Star of Bethlehem. I believe this gift is coming to us because it has been one of the most devastating years of our lives, and the heavenly beings want to give us a gift of hope, and we need it. Alignments between these two planets are rather rare, occurring once every 20 years or so, but this conjunction is exceptionally rare because of how close the planets will appear to be to one another. These two planets haven't appeared this close together from Earth's vantage point since the Middle Ages. According to Patrick Hartigan, astronomer at Rice University, alignments between these two planets are rather rare, occurring once every 20 years or so, but this conjunction is exceptionally rare because of how close the planets will appear to be to one another. You'd have to go all the way back to just before dawn on March 4th, 1226 to see a closer alignment between these objects visible in the night sky. Stargazers in the northern hemisphere should turn their heads and telescopes to the southwest portion of the sky about 45 minutes after sunset to see the planets align December 21st. However, sightings can be seen throughout that entire week. A star sighting of this magnitude won't occur again until 2080. So with all these events occurring, it's going to bring a major shift to the world. For now, tune into your inner self and feel those energies working with you to bring clarity. Please take time on December 21st to pray for the world to be healed. God is still on the throne, and prayer does change things.
And so I got inspired in the middle of the night. I thought of the song Age of Aquarius from Hair, and I rewrote what is actually happening. So this is actually what is happening as far as the moon being in Aquarius and Jupiter joining Saturn. When the moon is in Aquarius and Jupiter joins with Saturn in the first degree of Aquarius, the star will lead us home. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, the age of Aquarius. that said. That's exciting, right? The age of Aquarius. Let the fun begin. We'll take an offering for unity now.
How many of you are going to face the southwest on the 21st? See the conjunction? Yeah, okay. I can remember when this song was really popular, when Hair came out. I was in New York City, and I was involved with some of the people that were in Hair and things like that. We really thought this is going to be it. We're going to have the new age come in, and it kind of just didn't come in. But I can say now that over the years and watching the way things have transpired, I really have never seen so many things come together that needed to be dealt with. In the outer-directed, illusion-driven of the world, there's something happening now that is going to be phenomenal. And we're going to watch it happen between now and the first of the year. So not only face the Southwest, but keep your mind open to what's taking place. This is the time when we're going to open to the new consciousness. So, and what could be better than a talk like this? To awaken us, to keep us awake and looking and inspired. So, I'm just amazed by the beautiful things that Santisha shares with us. And so with that in mind, let's take an offering for unity. We will have all the different ways that you can make an offering, but bring to mind what gift you'd like to make, because we're still involved in the ministry all week long. And that's not just the drive that we do here, but it's the donations we make to the food share just right up several blocks away that we've been doing for months now, and we still have the barrels. There are still people that are in need. There are people that cannot afford a turkey. So that's what we do. We're trying to help as best we can physically and also mentally and spiritually. With that in mind, bring to mind what would you like to give to continue this ministry of Boulder. Bring it to mind and let's bless it with this offering statement. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive because I give. Thank you.
And now we have Angels We Have Heard on High. We'll finish this service with the song that it was all about. Here we go.
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Shepherds, why this jubilee? Why your joyous strains prolong? Say what may the tidings be, which inspire your heavenly song. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria
have prayer partners available. If you have a special challenge you want to pray about, we have our beautiful prayer partners who are here. If you just remain seated when everybody files out, one of our prayer partners will come up and lead you down to our beautiful meditation room and share a meaningful prayer with you.
And don't forget to tune in with us on Christmas Eve at 6 p.m. Jack and I will be narrating it live here while we show the greatest performances ever at Unity. And if you've been in our choir through the years, you'll probably see yourself pop up here and there.
That's
We
right.
encourage all of you to be a part of it. It's going to be an amazing experience. So join us at 6 o'clock. Go to unityofboulder.com and just hit watch live. All right. Love you all. Let's sing I Release and I Let Go. Let's just let it go and let's stand up.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. In the Spirit, let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I'm free. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. And next we have the burning bowl, which is people's favorite ceremony that we do. So think about the things you want to truly get rid of 2020. Bring it with you. We'll burn it. It'll be done. All
Okay.
right. We'll see you later. Thank you.
Right.
Yes, we did. It was a bit of a confusing day today. Dylan and Sharon. This one is go.
So give me the breakdown here, Jeannie. What's going on? Okay. Okay. I can see it. And then I'm asking you because I figured I would get you halfway there at least, and then I can see a video or whatever.
And then she said also that turn it on and it's happened again. Now that's happened again. This is a new video. This is all Thursday night. She had a type. When I went down to see her after she was gone, nothing changed.
What's the toilet problem? Okay.
And that's all I know.
And it's making water on the floor. And she made the video for you, is that true? Oh, was it around the base of the toilet? It's like a wax ring or a flange down there. Well, it's not the easiest in the world because it just means I have to lift that toilet out and then replace the wax ring at the minimum, and then sometimes it requires a little bit of additional repairs.
The door might be locked for the downstairs, but two voices in, or you can always put in the front door, which is always unlocked. Drake isn't there. I might.
Do you have a tenant in the downstairs right now, or it's that part? Does that mean you have one in somewhere upstairs?
Sure.
Oh, no.
And also upstairs, and you know in the sage room, okay, that sink is clogged up. Now, I don't, my sense, I don't know why I get this. I found her. Got out of the my senses, even though this is just a made-up sense, is that something like a toothpaste cap broke down. So that one's easier. And I'm not so crazy about just sticking something down there. I think we should actually just really tight. And then if it's super cloggy here, I mean, the last 15 minutes. But why would we stay here?
Well, actually, what guys do is it's just when you're shaving. Yeah, exactly. And that's why. My plumbing dude, as weird as it is, but the guy who trained me to be a pretty good plumber,